Miss if I did not get your thoughts on the huge breaking news, Perk, that happened just a few hours ago. The Knicks firing their head coach, Tom Thibodeau, after they fell short in the Eastern Conference Finals to those Pacers. He led them to the playoffs in 4 of his 5 seasons, took them to the conference finals for the first time in 25 years, but that title drought is longer. It's 52 years. So this story comes across your news feed, and what are you thinking?
It's a damn shame. A damn shame. Tom Thibodeau did not deserve to lose his job. Tom Thibodeau was not the one in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals that smoked the double-digit lead at the crib in the 4th quarter. He was not on the floor to smoke that. That was on the players. Tom Thibodeau wasn't a defensive liability on the floor like Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns. Karl Anthony Towns, is not on Tom Thibodeau that you allow Rick Carlisle to put Pascal Siakam on you and guard you in the low block and be successful at it. It is not on Tom Thibodeau that Jalen Brunson, outside of Game 5, was scored on 68% of the time. That's not on coaching. And I think it's bad for the league. It sends a bad message when you got 2 teams in the NBA Finals right now. That is a perfect example of what it looks like when the general manager in the front office runs the organization and not the players.
You know that adage, if you can't change the people around you, change the people around you. It feels like him not prioritizing depth and a deep rotation eventually caught up to him, and now they find themselves still with great odds to win the NBA championship, but without a coach. Tibbs, by the way, a 2-time NBA Coach of the Year, including his first season with the Knicks. K. Perk, you're back in the blue, even though you said that yesterday it made you look chunky. I don't understand. You said...
Well, I got 2 of them. See, it was the black with the blue. You know what I'm saying? That kind of didn't really do what it needed to do. But when I put the white on, I look skinny. You know what I'm saying? The white with the light blue, I look skinny. Okay. I told you. It's about looking slim on TV.
Just keep blue blazers just around you at all times. Perk, you're always ready. Appreciate you joining us here on SportsCenter.
Right.
Even some of the ones, as Alan Hahn said, that have been calling for his job. He left the Knicks in better shape than he found him. You can't argue that. He won 24 playoff games with New York. The previous 12 Knicks coaches combined for only 7 such wins. And then you go back to the conference finals. He's there for the first time in a quarter century. The Knicks won 50 games in back-to-back seasons for the first time since the 90s. And you see here, again, it is a tenure that many people very surprised about. People saying that he was told the expectation was they'd get past the second round. He needed to make a conference final, but he did exactly that and still finds himself on the losing end and fired. Let's bring in our basketball analyst, Monica McNutt, who came here today thinking she was just going to do WNBA Countdown. She was going to be talking about the ladies, and then here we go. And for those of you that don't know, Monica covers the Knicks and has been with them all year, and we just laid it out.
Yeah.
What was your reaction to finding out that he was getting let go?
Honestly, I was mid-workout, and I was very frustrated. I was like, what's happening? I'm trying to manage my wellness here. Okay, so... shocked is not the right word for me. Surprised, yes. Shocked, no.
Okay.
And I think the Knicks, the players, I think I saw Josh Hart put out very grateful. I have admired Tom Thibodeau for a long time. I respect his work. I think as we have talked about the Pacers series in the Eastern Conference Finals, it left some real questions moving forward. And I think that's okay because the nature of basketball is to evaluate everybody, how can we improve? He obviously, as you laid out before I started speaking, Elle, he's laid a tremendous groundwork for this team, year to year, continued improvement. But I think painfully you saw in the Eastern Conference Finals, in 2025's NBA, it almost demands a level of creativity and flexibility that I just don't know has been signature to his tenure as the Knicks head coach.
Yeah, the rigidity and not using a deep rotation and not wanting to go to his bench. And I think some people felt like of all the years for the Knicks to make a real run, this was the year. They got the Celtics out of the way, the Cavs were out of the way. With that, you kept mentioning areas of improvement. Where do you see needs the most improvement on this team for the next coach that takes over?
Well, as great as Jalen Brunson is and Karl Anthony Towns are, I think you have to be able to make it a little bit easier for them to score, right? There's got to be a little bit more creativity in the half-court set. The defense, I mean, prior to this year, the defense obviously had been the calling card of the New York Knicks, but how do you get the rest of those guys involved a little bit more consistently. And in the city, there's a lot of conversation about Jalen Brunson pounding the ball, this, that, or the other. And it won you 51 regular season games with him in the centerpiece in that way as a physical bruising guard. But the postseason obviously was a little bit different. So I imagine that the next person that sits first chair will be tasked with unlocking everybody and making this offense a little bit easier. You often hear about easy baskets at every level of basketball, but for the Knicks, they didn't come that often.
Yeah, we keep hearing from people too going, they have to have a person in mind or a coach in mind to make this shocking move, not shocking to Monica McNutt. Monty, thank you. I hope that you get a fantastic workout in tomorrow, but we will see you at 9 o'clock on ESPN for WNBA Countdown. We got a good one with the Wings and Seattle. Thank you so much.
Good to see you, girl.
Good to see you, boo.